Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Hivemind StarCraft 2 tournament. My name is Evo Woodhouse, and I'm bringing you match number 2 of week number 2 of the Masters and Diamond division of the Hivemind StarCraft 2 tournament. And as we saw in match number 1, Amorph with a very, very swift, decisive victory over Tubis. I guess there really was not a whole lot more to say about that at that point. So without any further ado, let's actually take you into match number 2 this week, which was played between our pink Protoss buddy over here on the right side of GSL's Belshire Beach. We have Warbeak. And his opponent spawning up in the left corner of GSL's Belshire Beach, we have our purple Zerg buddy Prosu. Both of these players, I believe, Masters League players. I'm sorry, guys, if I get any of that wrong. You can make fun of me for it at the LAN. I don't care. It's fine. So we do see both players just, like I said, continuing to drone up. And make sure, actually, you're keeping up with all of the to-dos and happenings of the StarCraft 2 tournament for the Montana State University Hivemind at our Facebook page. Just go to Facebook, search MSU Hivemind, and there you will find updated brackets or up-to-date brackets and things of that nature. Now, mind you, this is from week 2. I apologize that this is coming out very, very late. I've been quite busy as of late with exams and whatnot, but we're getting stuff out in a manner that we can. First gateway does end up going down for Warbeak on 13. I've actually seen that become a more and more common thing. Back when I first started playing, I remember the timing was 12 supply. Now it's getting to 13 as Protoss players do become a little more secure in their timings. You see this probe from Warbeak going to go ahead and just deny this expansion from Prosu as much as he can. Throwing down the pylon, blocking that expand. Can we call that a manor pylon? Is that close enough to a manor pylon? I don't think it's quite a manor pylon, but it does end up blocking the expansion and the cancel. Oh, and he does get the probe from Warbeak, but he does manage to delay that expansion quite a bit. The first Zealot now coming out for Warbeak. The expansion for Prosu just now going down. Now what that did is it actually did force a spawning pool first, which a lot of Zerg players can throw a wrench into your build as you go on. You see the extractor coming out now as well. Warbeak just continuing to pump out probes, dem probers. First set of Zerglings are out now for Prosu. We see them. This is usually the scouting pair of Lings. For a lot of people, I have seen people just leave them in their base, but 9 times out of 10 they are used for scouting. I'm going to go ahead and go down here. We do see the 2 Zealots possibly coming out to harass now for Warbeak. Oh, and he does. The Zerglings do end up juking out that probe, and Prosu is going to get a good read on everything that is in here. He does see the double assimilator that does just get guys into it. Interesting play out of Warbeak, actually, to see whether he goes for some sort of a hallucinate build or if he's going for something a little bit farther down than that. Usually when Protoss players get their double gas, at least in the Gold League. Now, mind you, I am a Gold League player at this point, so double gas this early in the game does seem a little strange to me. We're going to have to see how Warbeak decides to go about it. Do you see the 2 Zealots coming up here to go ahead and do exactly that, just kind of do some harassment, put a little bit of pressure back on Prosu. Stalker did take out those 2 Zerglings, too. And he did what he needed to do. He did end up forcing these Lings to be produced by Prosu. Did force a couple of spine crawlers. I think that is exactly what he wanted to do. We do see 2 more gateways coming out now for Warbeak as well. The sentry coming out Again, just as a note, this is a wider ramp than most of the other maps in the pool, so we do see that it is going to be slightly harder for 1 Sentry to hold this off, and an expand. So going for a 3-gate expand, I like this build a lot. This is kind of the bread and butter of most Protoss players at this point who opt not to 4-gate. Either a 3-gate expand or a 3-gate robo, then into an expansion are pretty much the most common builds you see as of now in terms of all the standard good stuff. Warp Gate just now finishing, and look at that crisp timing, getting the Warp Gate research done, and then leading into three gates. We do see a Roach Warren and a Nidus Canal. I like this play a lot, actually. Nidus Canals are making their comeback as one of the almost, I wouldn't say linchpin, but they're making their way back as a very, very pivotal Zerg structure because of the flexibility that they do grant you. We do see the pylon behind the gas, and then this gateway to go ahead and completely wall this off for Warbeak. So a very, very safe standard play, transitioning into a 4-gate with a robo on an expansion. He is tacking down those unit building structures as he expands. That is good, good, good. We do see the Nidus Canal now out for Prosu. Supply right now is about even, actually. Where is that coming up? And we do see the Nidus Canal going ahead and burrowing in over here. Is Warbeak going to catch it in time? We're going to have to see. The army from Warbeak going to go ahead and move out. And it does actually look like that Nidus Canal is going to finish, and he's going to unload all of those Zerglings. This could be catastrophic for Warbeak. Pulling the probes and blocking with the Stalker very appropriately. That's going to give him some time to get some units back here to deal with this aggression. The army forced to retreat. There is... Wow. I derped a little bit there. I'm sorry, guys. But the one Stalker did get picked off here, and the force fielding by Warbeak is actually impeccable, trapping those roaches in the mineral line. That is pretty impressive, I must say. I'm going to go ahead and just take down the Nidus Canal, leaving these 2 roaches stranded. If we go ahead and look at the Workers Lost tab, we do have 4 workers killed for Prosu, so actually it was an okay exchange come the end. Warbeak correctly getting back on probe production on that base as well. That 4th gateway and the forge are done now, so actually you do see the line of buildings here that are providing a wall, and we do see the Zerglings coming back in to try and make another poke. They do not succeed. And the proxy pylon for the shorter reinforced distance for Warbeak coming out now. Moving these spine crawlers forward is Prosu. Supply right now is about a 10 food difference. Prosu at 50, while it just jumped up, 56 to 67, so still roughly about a 10 supply difference. And we do see another pylon going down. This one, oh, and another Nidus Canal getting thrown in. More Lings and Roaches coming out into the main of Warbeak. That army caught completely off guard on the other side of the map. He needs to watch out though so he doesn't lose all those sentries. Prosu is going to pull all of these probes to come defend against this push. Warping it on the high ground with the reinforcements, and here we go. The main is completely exposed, and this is almost into a base race now. I would actually almost call this a base race. The main nexus of Warbeak is going to go down. More drones filing in to help clean up this base. Throwing down a couple of cannons here at the natural. I don't know if it's going to be enough to hold it. Warbeak continuing to just push forward. Everything going into this Nidus Canal now. Drones, everything getting tossed into the Nidus Canal and coming out the other side. Like I said, Prosu hoping to cause a base race here. This is actually pretty intense. Warbeak willing to leave these zealots here to run the rest of his army back so that he doesn't get overrun. The 2 cannons, 3 cannons do finish at the natural, but I don't think that is going to be enough. Pulling the probes to help defend. Those probes are going to be hero probes if they defend this. The hatchery going down for Prosu in the main of Warbeak. So we actually do have a legitimate base race at this point. This is going to take some very, very good force fielding to hold off. Oh, and the army does get cut in half, stuck behind that mineral line. Oh, that's not a good place for the Zerg player to be in. For exactly that reason, the army does get... The army did get blocked in there. And yeah, I'm sorry for the casting. It was a little bit shoddy there. My brain wasn't functioning correctly at that point. But we do see the GG well played come out of Prosu. So that gives Warbeak the 1-0 advantage going into game number 2. I will be back with that game here in just a second. Stay with me.